Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining me for this video. It is part 3 in a series of videos I've been filming for the Dollar Tree Junk Journal Challenge. I just completed my Dollar Tree Junk Journal and I wanted to do a flip through for you. I think I did share the beginning stages of this journal in a previous video in part 2 when I did a flip through of my Dollar Tree tag flip journal. So if you'd like to see the full flip through of this journal, I will link that video below and you can take a peek if you like. I did want to apologize up front. I did notice that I was out of frame in time sometimes in that video, and so some of the items weren't able to be seen fully, and I apologize for that, and I'll try to do better today so you can see the whole journal. I also like to say that this journal is mostly everything in the components in this journal are actually in my Dollar Tree store at the moment. I'm aware that those who like to create their own journals watch videos and they like to find the items that they see in the videos, and I do as well. Sometimes I can find those items and sometimes I can't. I don't think all Dollar Tree stores carry everything that others, I don't think it's all the same at all the Dollar Tree stores. Specifically, I know in my Dollar Tree stores, I went to several and not every store had the same items, which is in a way so good because I was able to find some other things, but in some ways I was hoping to find other items that I had seen in other videos from other creators, which I did not find. So I just wanted to let you know that everything, the majority of everything in this journal can be found at my Dollar Tree stores here where I reside in San Antonio, Texas. But now I would like to share the journal. I created this journal, the cover, from these package of folders. I used the blue folder. I did notice that the folders were a bit flimsy. I didn't expect that because they were folders. I thought they would be a bit sturdy, kind of like similar to a cereal box. Didn't think about purchasing a cereal box from Dollar Tree, but I could have done that, I guess, and used that. But I decided to go with the folders, and when I started to use them, that's when I noticed how light and they weren't very sturdy. So I decided to continue and just add to it to strengthen the journal. And for the most part, I think it's fine. It is quite lightweight, but I think it came together well, and so I'm fine with it. But I just wanted to make that known, just in case if you were to pick up these folders, you know ahead of time that they're not very sturdy. That said, I do like what I created, and I feel like adding to it did pick up the integrity of the journal. So I covered the folder with some wallpaper that I found at my Dollar Tree. I did see this particular wallpaper at 2 Dollar Tree stores in my area, but there were some stores that didn't have it. So just be aware that sometimes you might not find the same wallpaper or even find wallpaper. I think one of the stores didn't have it, but I really like this print because I like the color scheme of the wallpaper. I like light pastel colors, and this fit my aesthetic, so I decided to put it on the cover, and I think that it helped with the sturdiness. On the front, on the front inside front cover, I added this book page. I shared in the haul video. I shared some items, and one of the items I shared was some storybooks. I think there are a series of storybooks. I purchased two, and I used this particular book because I felt that it was cohesive with the theme that was seemed to be coming together. I really didn't have a theme in mind when I started. I just picked up things I liked and was hoping that I could create something from that. So I really like this page. There was another page I liked too to put on the front cover, but I realized that I like the other side of that page and I didn't want to lose it, so I decided to use this page. And I think it's a really nice action page. I like the birds and you can tell it's like a very what's the word I'm looking for, adventurous kind of page. So I thought that would be neat to start off the journal with this page. So my pages that I used were from coloring book pages. I picked up this one, Moments of Grace, Prayers to Color. I actually picked this up for a prayer journal I was planning to start that I haven't yet started. And I took it apart. It had staples. I took the staples out and then I removed the signatures because I wanted to use them as pages. Instead of folding them, I decided to take off the staples and use them like they were in the book. I'm not sure the word I'm looking for, but as you can tell, I used them this way as opposed to just taking off the paper and folding it. I didn't want to do that. I wanted the whole image, so that's what I did. I used a couple or maybe even a few of these pages. I picked some scriptures that I like, that I have remember from memory, and then also I did use some of them. I picked some of them because I like the image of the page. And so this page comes from this book. I added some lace ribbon for a trim on the page. I liked doing that to balance off this piece of fabric that I put to cover the spine of the book. I noticed that even though it's very strong, the integrity of the journal is strong, but I still felt like because of the that's the word I'm looking for, because of the material, they are quite lightweight, and so you could see some of the threading, and I just didn't like that, so I decided to just cover it up. And I actually think that it kind of brought the journal together and it made it more interesting and prettier, I think. I also noticed that the colors in these in this material actually were picked up in this page, so that was another reason I chose this page, because it seemed to be harmonious with the material. So just thought I'd mention that. So this is the other side of that page. I trimmed it with some offcut of this gift bag that I purchased. I purchased this gift bag, specifically for a junk journaling because I liked the print. I thought it was very pretty, and it was pretty sturdy. So I picked that up. I think maybe a couple months ago. I have not seen it in my store, this particular print, but I have seen other gift bags that are the same type of gift bag, just different prints. But I'm always on lookout for it because I'd like to get another one to have for other projects, because I really do like this print. This page actually came from a magazine. I'm trying to see. I don't think I have the one I used, but I did buy two of them. So It's one of these magazines that I found at Dollar Tree. I've noticed that some creators have shown these magazines when they've done hauls, but the ones that I found aren't always the same as the ones I've seen. And excuse me, at the time I picked this one up, I picked the other one that I used for this signature. I just can't find it at the moment, but I just wanted to show you what to look for. And actually these magazines were in the book section, but I've seen them before in another area in my Dollar Tree stores. So just keep an eye out because they're not always in the same place. So I used a couple of pages of the magazine in this signature. I did make 2 signatures, so that's the first for me, because I've been experimenting with doing sew-in journals. I typically don't do sew-in journals. I do no-sew journals, but recently have started to try to do the sewn-in journals, and this is the first time I actually did more than 1 signature, so I'm kind of proud of that. So the other side of this page, and this particular magazine was a nostalgic magazine. I think a lot of them are, that I found at least. And I just chose pages that I remember from my childhood TV shows. I remember actors and entertainers that I remember. I used to watch Little House on the Prairie when I was younger, and there is actually a reboot of Little House on the Prairie. If you're not aware, it is currently on Netflix, and me and my husband are watching it at the moment. We have 2 episodes left, and I'm kind of trying to not binge it. We kind of did in a way, but we did watch them over several days, but maybe we shouldn't have watched one after the other sometimes. But I really do like that show, and I think I heard that they did get a 2nd season, so I'm looking forward to that. But if you're into A Little House on the Prairie, you might want to check it out. I remember Freddie Prinze from Chico and the Man. I vaguely remember that show, and of course JJ from Good Times, and I'm obviously showing my age. Telly Savalas in Kojak, and the Rockford Files. I'm sorry, I forgot his name. I think Angie Dickinson. Yes, it says it right there. I don't remember what she was on. Oh, Policewoman. It says it right there. But I remember her. And this is a page from a coloring book. I don't have it with me. I wish I did. I thought I had pulled it, but I guess I didn't. But they're just landscapes, and I chose this one specifically because it reminded me of my hometown of Chicago. The water and the trees and the tall skyscrapers, from remembering from when I go downtown with my friends to the lake, or the beach, but it was actually Lake Michigan. So that's why I chose this page. It's blank on this side, and I haven't added anything to it, but I feel like it's got a lot of space for journaling, and I don't really mind this white page because there's a lot of color in between it. This is another page from the storybook. I liked this scene. It was I think it was like I'm not sure if it's a sunset or a sunrise, but I just loved that scene, and so I wanted to keep both of, because there was 2 sides to it, and I wanted to keep them both in this journal. And this is another part of the storybook, the other side. This is a page from a journal that I found. It's called Doodles for the Day. So they have these doodles, and on the other side is lined paper. And I used a couple of these pages in this journal. So there we have the line pages. I tore it out, and I was going to trim it off with my paper cutter, but then I decided to leave it jagged because I thought it looked more interesting. Another page from the landscaping coloring book. Again, I liked the image in this one. And this is actually from a watercolor paint with water, I think it's called. You can find it in the section with the children's books and activity books. I'm trying to see if I have it here. I don't. I think I just moved them recently because I'm trying to clear up. But this one was about cats, I think, and I actually purchased it because I've been wanting to do a cat journal. So, and I liked using these pages in this journal because they're very colorful. Also, I like this cat. I like this little party hat. This page is from a magazine, not a magazine, a calendar that I found, and I think I did see some other creators share these calendars in their videos that they used also for the Dollar Tree journals, and I specifically went looking for these calendars. I only found them at one store, and I bought two. I only used one of them, so I have another one that I can use for other projects. And I chose the pages that I thought would go together with this journal, would be more aesthetically pleasing for this journal, and also, of course, they were pastel colors for the most part. So this is actually from July, and I really did want to use July, as though this calendar is for next year. So we have 2027, but I wanted to use the July month because we are doing this in July. This is some lined paper from Paper Pad. I think I got it in a 3-pack. I recently bought it, but I didn't see it in any of the stores I went to just a few days ago. So I'm not sure if they are carrying it in your stores. I know there were some items that I was particularly looking for that I've seen several creators share. Envelopes, coin envelopes, and some, I forget what else it was, but I didn't find those. So like I said, sometimes you might not always find items that you see others sharing, but I think if you do find it, it'll be in the office supply area. That's where I found it. And this is a label that I had purchased a package of labels, and they are still currently in my stores, but they were only in 2 that I noticed recently. These are the package of labels that I purchased, and I think I found those also in the office supply area. Here's another of the scripture coloring book page. I sought the Lord and he heard me, and I remember this is one of the verses I remember that I like, so I wanted to use this one, and I like the image on the background as well. So these both butt up because like I said, I wanted to use it as a whole page, so they butted up together. Stand up and bless the Lord your God forever and ever. This one I think I remember hearing a lot. I have some Christian journals, and I think I have one of these. One of them has this particular verse. And surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Psalm 23. I remember this specific psalm, and so this verse does resonate with me. And I really did like the floral motif on this page. Let the peace of God rule in your hearts. Colossians 3:15. I like having the scripture verses in my journal. It feels very home is and very peaceful, and I am looking forward to coloring in the page. But I do like having the scripture. I had purchased it, like I said, for a prayer journal, and then I realized that I would have to cut up the images because I can show you. I started, this is the journal I was talking about, but as you can see, well, I guess I could fit that whole part in it, but I really didn't think I would be able to do that, and I didn't want to cut it up, so I hadn't used it. But I was happy that I had this so I could add it to this journal. This is the other side of the line paper, and this is a tag I made with my, where is it at? I just had it. I can't find it, but it's my tag punch. I made it with my tag punch. Well, I can't find it at the moment. But these are the items that I used. I remember just saying that we could use our tools. So I used my corner rounder, my hole punch, I used my Fabri-Tac, and I used my stapler to adhere some of the ephemera and the signature pages. So this is the other side of the, oh, I didn't. This is another tag I made with a gift bag, and I just added a little bit of these shimmering beads. They kind of look like confetti, but they're not really beads, but they're not really confetti. I don't know what you would call these, but because they're hard, but they're really shimmery, and they come. This is what they look like. They come in a package. I want to say maybe 4 or 5, and they have different colors. And I use these clear ones. I think I found them in the Crafter Square section of Dollar Tree, and I bought those recently. So you might be able to find them, although I did notice on my last trip a couple of days ago, I didn't see them in any of the Dollar Trees I went to. So just be on the lookout for it. If you find it, I would pick it up, because I think these are really neat, and you can use them in a lot of projects. This is the other side of the calendar. I keep wanting to say magazine. I guess it's because of the way it feels. So I really liked the pastel-y colors, the pinks and the light colors. I like the motif. I like the rainbow, the little daisies and stars, and it says good vibes. And I thought that really was great, that it was because it was butted up next to my scripture coloring page. And this one is from April. I think I only used 2 calendar pages in this journal, but I planned to use more, and in the end, because of the other pages I wanted to use, I didn't, but at least I have the calendar for other projects. This is another paint with water page from the same book. I thought I had it, but it's pretty much a paint. It's just paint water activity book, I guess you call it. I have. Okay. I did find this one. I think I have 2 kittens. I'm not sure if I use this one, but it looks just like, I mean, this is the type of book it is, paint with water, and this one says kittens. I know it's, yeah, I guess it is from this one, because I see that there's pages taken out, because I have 2 of these, and they both have kitten things. I actually have another one as well, but I have 2 of the kitten ones. So that's pretty much, that's what I used. And I wanted to see if there was any other ones that I had, but Oh, I did find this one. This is the book series I was talking about, We Are Girls. This one is Olivia and the Outstanding Fair. The one I used was, I forget what it's called. I was hoping I had it here, but I don't. But like I said, it's in the book section with the activity books and coloring books. At least that's where I found them. So this is another one of the landscape coloring books. I liked this building. I thought it was pretty, and the image just spoke to me, and I decided to use this page. This is more of that lined doodle page, and I do like the doodles in this journal, and they have a good variety, so I'm looking forward to using this in a journal capacity and also as material for other projects. This is another page from the storybook. And the other side, here's the other side of the coloring book, and this is the other part of that magazine page I showed you before. I liked using this page because I liked how this one had the Maze Madness and the crossword, and so I liked having some activities in my junk journal, so I thought that was another reason why I chose this page. And another super crossword on this side. And to be honest, I believe when I was taking that I was taking the magazine apart, because that also was put together with staples. I'm trying to see where I put it. These are put together with staples, so I used my my tool. I can't find it. I used, I forget what they called it, but to remove the staples, staple remover, I used my staple remover. I opened it up to the page. Here it is. At some point in the magazine, there's a page that has the staples, and then I just kind of pried them open with my staple remover, and I pulled them out, and then I just pulled off the signature. But what I was going to say is that in these magazines, all of these puzzles that are in there, at the very end, I think it's the end, they have the answers. So if you wanted to do the puzzle and you couldn't figure something out, there is answers for it in there. But I didn't use that page. I only used these so you could do the activity. This is another side of the Bible verses pages. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Matthew 6:13. Obviously, it is part of our Lord's Prayer, and I liked having that in this journal. In thee, O Lord, I do hope. Psalm 38:15. Very pretty page. Love the scripture. This is the second signature. I used this activity book that I found with the coloring books and storybooks in my Dollar Tree. I believe I saw this at almost every Dollar Tree I went to, and but they do have different volumes. And there was this one I was looking for, but I didn't find it. But I like this one. I like the pages. So I just and this is actually, you know what? I just thinking about it. This isn't the one I used, because I actually did the same thing. I pulled it apart, and this one's still intact, so this isn't it. But it is the same type of book. It's just probably a different volume. So I used the front, I think, of the book as the cover of this second signature. I liked using it because it shows you all the pages that come up in this particular volume, so that I could still have all the images. So I liked using that for the front cover. And here's the rest of those images. Another doodle page in a different motif and lined paper. Another page from the magazine. This one had Carol O'Connor as Archie Bunker. I love to watch All in the Family. I think that was what it's called. And so I wanted to use this page. I wasn't so much into MASH. I've seen it. My family, my parents would watch it. But I did want to use this page for Carol O'Connor. And this is the other side to the previous page with Jimmy Walker, the cast from Good Times, and also Red Fox, and I forgot who played Lamont, but from Sanford and Son, and I forgot her name. She played Rhoda. Valerie Harper, I think. I hope I'm right. I'm not sure. I don't see her name here, so. But I liked using the pages that I remember characters from, or entertainers. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Again, from our Lord's Prayer, Matthew 6:12. And if God be for us, who can be against us? Romans 8:31. I love this verse. Another page from the magazine. I liked using this one because it said nostalgia, and I thought that was perfect because it is nostalgic, and it shows you other magazines that they have, and I guess you could sign away for a subscription for this. I just noticed this is Troy, Michigan. My son's name is Troy, so that's pretty cool. But I didn't notice that before. I just noticed it now because his name popped up at me. I think they say $1, and you do pay a little bit more at Dollar Tree. I don't know if I would sign up for the subscription, but I do like picking these up when I see them. At least the ones that I find that I like. Because there are several. I did go through several, and I chose specific ones. And on this side, it just has musical artists. So, John Denver, I think. Yes. Olivia Newton-John and Stevie Wonder. I remember them all. And I quite like their songs, some of them. This is a page from a paper pad that I recently bought at the last trip I made to Dollar Tree. Pretty much it's just a pad, and it has like the days of the week and some spots to journal your notes and reminders and priorities. So I just took a page from that pad and I added it to the signature. This is one of the pages from the storybook. This was actually the page I wanted to use from the front cover, but the reason I didn't use it is because I like this side of the page, because it has little bios, information of certain historical figures and people. Amelia Earhart. I really wanted to use this page and have it be able to see it specifically for Amelia Earhart, because since I was a child, I've always been fascinated with her story. So that's the reason why I didn't use this for the cover. But this is the other side of that page, and I thought it would look so cool as a cover. It even has a butterfly, and this journal's cover is a butterfly, as butterflies. So I thought it'd be perfect, but then I would lose this page, so I didn't do that. I kept the page for the signature instead. And again, another doodle page in lined paper. I chose to use this one specifically in this part because of Strawberry Shortcake. Strawberry Shortcake coloring book I found recently. I had seen some creators showing it part of their haul and had not seen it in my stores, but I just found it recently, so I snatched up. And honestly, this was the only one they had left. They didn't have any more, so I was lucky to have found it. So I picked out a page that I liked. This one, unfortunately, I did have to fold because I only used one page that I tore out. I didn't use a whole signature. So I kind of folded it in a way so that I would get the majority of this image. And so you can see that it's folded like this. And then the other side is custard, and it's a dot to dot, and again another activity, so that's cool to have. I like that. I used some washi tape. So this is one of the items that I would say I had in my stash. There was washi tape at Dollar Tree. I did see some. I almost bought it, but again I didn't because of the color scheme. It was quite dark and I wanted something more bright, so I did use this. So I'm not sure if you can find it in your Dollar Tree stores. You can find washi tape though. Well, at least they are selling it in my stores. So be on the lookout. If you do find it, you might see it in the Crafter Square. And this is the other side of the doodle page. Another page from the storybook. Again, I chose this page specifically because she's enjoying her lunch and she's having an apple, and there's apples in this doodle. So reason why I used this page together. The other side of the page, I attached some ribbon that I found in the, I forget what section that is, but it's where they have the ribbons and the florals, and this is what I used, and I attached it and made like a little pocket. And then I used this index page. I folded it up and I did a stamp, and I used this stamp right here and another one. I think I have it nearby. I can show you this one here. So I have heard from others that the stamps don't always come out well, and I would say for the most part that is true sometimes. As you can tell, this one didn't come out so well. I did use an ink pad that I did purchase at Dollar Tree, but I haven't seen any for a while, so that is something that you might not be able to find, unfortunately. But I didn't use it as much. I didn't use these materials that much. This is another stamp. It is from Dollar Tree. Like I said, it was in a package, and this is the stamp I used. I'm trying to see if I have the package nearby to show you. This is what it kind of looks like, but it was different stamps. So, and this sticker, again, it's something I had in my stash. So this whole little ephemera tuck-in is just some items that you might not be able to find. I apologize, but I used it for aesthetic reasons. But the index cards are new, and you should be able to find them in the office supply section. The other side of that paper pad, and some more of the magazine. And again, the puzzles. He who maketh me lie down in green pastures. The other side of the coloring page, the Lord shall fight for you and you shall hold your peace. So I did choose pages that I liked, the scripture verses. I mean, I liked all of them, but specific ones I wanted to use for this journal. Another crossword with Michael Landon, who played Mr. Ingalls. I forgot his first name in Little House on the Prairie. Oh, I guess I did use a page that had the answers to the puzzles. So I won't be looking at that. The other side of the doodle page. And the last page of my journal has these cats, and I liked this image. So I had other pages in this journal that had cats in them, so I thought this was a good page to use as well for that reason. Here's some more of that fabric. I found that in the fabric section of my Dollar Tree. In my Dollar Tree, they've been having the fabric in the Crafters Square section, but they didn't used to have it in that area. They used to have it in the X section with the florals and the ribbons. I don't know why they moved it, but I do notice that different Dollar Trees that I went to don't have the same fabrics. So you do have to look, and sometimes you might not find specific fabrics. So just wanted to let you know that. And again, I used it to cover up the thread. I used this. It's a package of 3. I got this in a package of 3. This is the specific one I used. I will say, using this, it was a bit hard to thread through the needle when I was using it. So what I did was I put a little bit of my fabric tack on the edge because I didn't have any wax. If I had a wax, I could have waxed it up and that might have worked. But I didn't have any, so I thought I'd try that, and that did work. So that was good. Here's some ephemera that I made for my journal. So I took one of the receipts. I don't have it nearby, or show it to you. No, I don't have it nearby. So I took one of the receipts and I did use a stamp on this specific receipt, and I did use some of the folder and the gift bag to make these little collage. I'm trying to see where my, oh, here it is, my stamp punch. I used my stamp punch to punch out some of this gift bag and the folder from the offcuts, and I did do another stamp as well. I used this one specifically. So so these, again, these stamps you might not be able to find, and I apologize for that. I used this bag. It was actually a bag that had, it was in a, I want to see what I did with it. Oh, here it is. So I used this bag from, it was like this. It had glitter, and it wasn't this one though, but it wasn't like a package of this. It was just different colors. The one that I used had this gold glitter in it. So I used it. I filled it with the glitter, that glitter actually, and these I don't know what they're called, but they're really shimmery, and they're not beads, but they kind of feel like they are. Another piece of the gift bag, I stamped it out, and I put a piece of the doodle page. I backed it, I folded it up so you can see both sides of the image, and I attached some ribbon with this, my stapler. Here's the ribbon right here. This one I had in my stash, but I also found it at my Dollar Tree, so I purchased another roll. Sometimes you can find it, sometimes you can't, but I was lucky enough to find it this trip. So I attached it at the end for closure, and I made a shaker. I really like the shakers. I try to use different materials to make them, and I like that it has the floral images and the glitter, and I like the sound. I'll stop shaking now. I just like, it's so fun. This is just a piece of ribbon on a post-it. I had the post-it near me because I wanted to show you that specific one. It was in a package though. The package is 3, I think. Okay, I found the package though. This is the package. I found it in the uh, office supply section from Jot. But the one that I used, I took out and I placed it somewhere and I can't find it at the moment. I did take it out specifically to show you, but I couldn't find it. So I just attached some of this ribbon, and pretty much it was kind of to be like used as a pocket. Trying to see if I find that. Ooh, I can't find it, but I'll just use this little piece of offcut here, and so you could stick something in there just as a tuck. So that's why I used the ribbon for that. Also, it's pretty. I think it's pretty. Here's a little bit more of that paper pad page. So you can journal, and this way you have the whole page intact. And so with the gift bag, I backed the back side of my junk journal, and then I also made a pocket, and it's all what's the word? I can't think of it, but it's the same print. And then this is the back of the journal. So I used the decals, the wall decals that you can find near the wall with the wallpaper. I've noticed that I found them on an end corner, hanging on an end corner of the aisle, of that specific aisle where they have the wallpaper. And I used this specific pack. I have seen it at several of my Dollar Trees, so you should possibly be able to find it. It is currently in the stores if they have it in your area. So I added it to this side because it only covered half of the journal with the wallpaper, and that was mostly because I wanted to save some of the wallpaper for some other project. But I have seen it in my store, so I could always pick up another one. But again, if you don't pick up something at Dollar Tree, don't expect it to be there the next time you go, because it usually isn't. And that's happened to me several times. So I did want to preserve some of it for another project, so I only used half of it on this side. And this is some ribbon, pearl ribbon, that I had in my stash. I have seen it at the Dollar Tree in the past, recently, but it wasn't there when I went these couple of days ago. But you still might be able to find it because it's something that I've noticed they've carried. It just, I think it's seasonal and they don't always have it. But if you find it, snatch it up because it's really pretty. I bought it, I think, to use as part of my daughter's mom when she was her senior year, because if you're familiar with mums, they're very big here in Texas, where I'm from, or where I live, because I'm from Chicago actually, but I've lived here many years. And I didn't even know what a mum was when I first came. I was in high school when I first came to San Antonio, but they're big. And it was my daughter's senior year, and if you're a senior, you have, usually it's all white mum. So I really liked adding this to her mum because I like the different texture it added to her mom. Anyway, that's why I bought it, but I also bought it because I thought it was pretty. So I ended this, the edge of this wallpaper, added it to that, and of course the other side of the lace ribbon. I did the signatures. The first one I had the end threads in the inside, and this one I had them on the outside, and my idea was to add some beads on, but I haven't gotten around to doing it. I was trying to see if I could thread them without using the glue, and it wouldn't work because it was just too much fraying and it wouldn't go. I tried to use it with the needle and it wouldn't even go through the needle. So I was glad I was able to get it through the needle when I used it to sew in the signatures. Like I said, I'm very pleased I was able to do a junk journal that had 2 signatures because, like I said, I've only done one before and I've only recently started doing sewn in signatures. I would say that now that I know, I would be more careful in choosing the materials that they're more sturdy because it was some of the pages did the holes were kind of loose. They got big, and I think it's just because the strength integrity of the paper was not that strong. Or maybe it was the needle I used. I used a pretty big, pretty hefty sized needle because I was trying hard to get that the thread to go through. And I was trying to see if I could show you. Here it is. I keep them all together so I can find them. This is the one I use. See, it's pretty hefty. So maybe it was this that was too thick. I will say that one of the items I do not have in my possession is awl. I think that's what it's called. The tool you use to make the holes, pre-punch holes for your journal. I don't have one of those. I need to get one. I've been meaning to and I forget. So what I do is I use the needle to make the holes first and then I thread it. And then it works pretty well. But I think it's also because these pages were a little lightweight. I have, although, no, I was going to say I used it with some other, but no, I'm not sure if I used it in cardstock. I might have, but I don't really remember. But anyway, getting back to the journal, I like the way it came out. I'm very pleased with it. I would have liked to add more pockets. I didn't think about that at the beginning. Well, I did, and then as I was going along, I felt like the pages were too flimsy. And maybe I could have used another one of these folders as a signature page, but I didn't. I didn't want the signatures to be too thick because I wanted to make sure I could thread it since it was lightweight to begin with. A lot of the papers are very lightweight. I will say that a lot of the paper I've used for the pages from the different materials that I gathered will, for the most part, are pretty lightweight. Even the calendar, I think the thickest page is this, the storybook page. It's I think one of the thickest pages that I used. Even the paint with water pages are thicker than the magazine page. So, and I was really surprised because it's a magazine. But I guess the ones at Dollar Tree are a little bit more lightweight. So, I think that might be another reason I was having that issue with the holes being kind of big. But the signatures are strong. And I feel like it will be fine for my use. I'm pretty careful when I work anyway. So I hope you enjoyed the flip through of my junk journal. Like I said on previous videos, I love to see other creators' journals and their videos. I think I like to say that thank you for anyone who's watched to this point. I appreciate your support, and I hope you did like the video. I have a couple of other projects. I think I had mentioned in a previous video was gonna do a no-sew. Well, I did do a no-sew journal with the flip through, but I was gonna do another one. But I did want to do one that was sewn in just because I was challenging myself, because like I said, I don't typically do sew-in journals because I am not very what's the word? I'm not very good at the sewing. So, and I get intimidated. So I pushed myself to do this one. But I like what it came out. I'm very pleased with it, and I feel like it's very harmonious. I don't know if it's the verse coloring pages I use, or if it's just the fact that I try to stick to a very light color palette, or just because of the materials I used I really liked. But whatever reason, I find it gives me a lot of joy when I look at it, and I'm not sure if I'll do any that much to it, because like I said, I like looking at it the way it is. But I think I might try doing the coloring pages and maybe one or two of the puzzles, but we'll see. So again, I hope you liked the flip through. I appreciate your support. If you did like it, please hit the like button. That would really help my channel. It's a very tiny channel, but if not, don't worry. No worries. I hope you will return for another video, and until next time, take care. God bless. See you soon. Bye.